Have you ever watched someone cruel succeed effortlessly, while you, someone who genuinely tries to be good, struggles with everything? Have you ever been loyal and been abandoned, honest and been punished for it, kind to someone who used that kindness against you? And in the quiet moments, when no one is watching, have you ever asked the question you feel almost guilty for asking? Why does being a good person seem to make life harder? This question is not new. It is one of the oldest questions in human history, and the Stoics had an answer to it. Not a comfortable answer, not the answer you want to hear, but the truest answer ever given to one of life's most painful paradoxes. And by the time this video ends, you will not only understand why good people suffer, you will understand why that suffering is, in fact, the most powerful force in the human story. Let us start with a man you already know, Marcus Aurelius. By any measure of history, one of the most genuinely good men who ever held absolute power. He was honest in a world built on deception, temperate among emperors famous for excess, compassionate toward the very people who conspired against him, and his life, by most accounts, was not easy. He buried children, he fought wars he did not want, he watched his empire be ravaged by plague. He was surrounded by people who did not understand him and would not have cared if they had. Here is the first thing the Stoics want you to understand. Good people suffer more because they feel more. This is not a poetic statement, it is a psychological truth. The person who has developed genuine empathy, genuine conscience, genuine care, carries a weight that the person without those qualities simply does not feel. When a selfish person hurts someone, they walk away. When a good person hurts someone, even accidentally, they carry it, sometimes for years. When a callous person fails, they find someone to blame. When a good person fails, they turn inward. They examine themselves. They ask where they went wrong. They hold themselves responsible even for things that were never their fault. The Stoics called this moral sensitivity, and they considered it one of the highest human qualities, not because it makes life easier, but because it makes life meaningful. Epictetus said that the person who feels nothing has nothing to lose, but the person who feels deeply has everything to gain, because they have learned to live with both hands open, fully present to all of it. The suffering of good people is the price of caring, and caring is the beginning of wisdom. But here is where it gets more complex and more surprising. Good people suffer more because they are held to a higher standard by themselves. Think about this honestly. The expectations you hold for yourself, are they the same expectations you hold for everyone else? Almost certainly not. You forgive others easily. You struggle to forgive yourself at all. You make allowances for other people's mistakes. You allow yourself almost none. Marcus Aurelius was perhaps the most self-demanding human being who ever wrote a word. His private journal, Meditations, is essentially one long record of a man holding himself to impossible standards and gently, repeatedly reminding himself to begin again. He writes about how he failed to be patient, how he failed to be generous enough, how he fell short of the philosopher he wanted to be. This was the most powerful man on earth, holding himself to a standard no emperor before or after him attempted to meet. This is the paradox of the good person. The better you become, the higher your internal standards rise. And the higher your standards, the more clearly you see your own failures. The cruel person sees nothing wrong in themselves. The good person sees everything. This is not a flaw. This is the engine of growth. The suffering caused by your own self-examination is the suffering of someone who refuses to stop becoming. And that refusal, quiet, private, daily, is the most extraordinary act of courage most good people will never receive credit for. There is a third reason, and this one is the hardest to accept. Good people suffer more because they are tested more. Not by God, not by fate, not by some external force choosing to punish virtue, but by the nature of what it means to build something real in a world that does not always reward it. Seneca wrote that the good are tested the way gold is tested, by fire, not to destroy them, but to reveal what they are made of. And the testing is heavier precisely because the material can withstand it. You do not put ordinary pressure on ordinary things and expect extraordinary results. Think of the people in your life who have been through the most and come through. The ones who have lost the most, endured the most, rebuilt the most. Are they bitter? Some are. But the ones who came through with their goodness intact, are they not the deepest people you have ever known? The most present, the most real. That depth does not come from ease. It comes from the specific pressure of carrying something heavy for a long time without dropping it. And the reason good people are given that weight is not cosmic cruelty. It is cosmic trust. The universe does not place impossible weight on things that cannot hold it. But here is the part that will stay with you. The suffering of good people is not wasted. This is what separates the Stoic understanding from simple resignation. The Stoics were not teaching people to accept suffering passively. They were teaching people to transform it, to take what life hands to you, unfair, unasked for, undeserved, and to make something from it that would not have existed without that exact pain. Marcus Aurelius could not have written Meditations without his suffering. Every line of that book was forged in something real. The loss was real. The betrayal was real. The exhaustion of leadership was real. And yet that journal, written in private, never intended to be read, has now survived 2,000 years. It has consoled millions. It has guided kings and soldiers and ordinary people through the worst moments of their lives. His suffering was not wasted. It became his gift. Your suffering is not wasted either. Every moment you chose to remain kind when cruelty would have been easier, that built something. Every time you told the truth when a lie would have been safer, that built something. Every time you stayed, tried again, got up, showed up, that built something. Not visible yet, perhaps. Not recognized yet, certainly, but built nonetheless. The world does not always reward goodness quickly. History is full of good people who are never recognized in their lifetime. Full of honest men and women who were punished for their honesty and praised only after they were gone. But here is what the Stoics understood that most people miss. The reward for being good is not external. It was never supposed to be. The reward for being good is what it does to you, the person you become through the long, difficult, unrecognized practice of choosing virtue when vice would have been easier. That person is the reward. The depth, the wisdom, the genuine peace that comes not from having everything but from needing nothing that does not belong to you. That is what goodness builds. Marcus Aurelius wrote something that has stayed with me. He said that the first rule is to keep an untroubled spirit. The second is to look things in the face and know them for what they are. That is not passive acceptance. That is radical courage. To look at the suffering, to know it fully, to refuse to be destroyed by it or defined by it, and then to keep being good anyway. Not because someone is watching, not because there is a reward coming, but because you have decided, in the deepest part of yourself, that this is who you are. Good people suffer the most because they are the ones who feel the most, expect the most from themselves, and are trusted with the most. But they also, in the end, become the most. Not the most powerful, not the most celebrated, but the most real, the most whole, the most deeply, fully, completely alive. And that is a kind of wealth that suffering cannot take from you, that no betrayal can steal, that no failure can erase. You know what you are made of. You have been tested, and you are still here. Still trying, still choosing to be good in a world that sometimes makes that the hardest possible choice. That is not weakness. That is the rarest kind of strength the world has ever seen.